Hello, everyone. It's Mike, your friendly neighborhood TO, and we are 1 week out from Vanguard GT. Um, it is Friday, which means lists are due today, and that's the main thing that I wanted to remind people about. Is that the list deadline has arrived. Please send me a copy of your list to to@vanguardgt.org, um, preferably in Manta Companion List Builder PDF format. So far, I've got just over half of the lists already, so I'm looking for the rest of them uh, over the course of the rest of the day today. Please make sure you get those in on time. Um, Sooner the better, but really, anytime today, this evening, tonight, before tomorrow morning should be fine. Please, everyone, remember to do that. Don't make me have to chase anybody down and pester them about it, because I don't like having to pester people about things. It's better when everybody just remembers to do stuff on time. So that's it. Today's the day. Make any final decisions about lists and send them in, and then everyone will be locked in. And so that means once we have all the lists, then we can proceed to doing first round pairing announcements, which I know everybody's always really interested and excited to see. And we will be announcing the first round pairings Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. And that will be live streamed on YouTube, on my personal YouTube channel. If you're currently watching this on YouTube, that's where it is. If you're watching it on Facebook, don't worry, I will post a link to it Tuesday evening so that everybody can easily find it and watch along. It'll of course be on YouTube, so you can watch it later if you want. Also, half of the matchups are already challenges, so like we know who's playing who for like half the tables, and the other half of the tables we're checking out. And then other than that, we will be revealing the lists and making predictions as per usual as to who the panelists that I've assembled think are going to win their first round matches. And then after that, I will post up a Dropbox link to all of the lists so that everyone can access them and look over them if they want to study them a little more carefully. Everyone should still remember to bring 6 copies of their list with them to the tournament, though. One for yourself and one for each of your opponents. We shouldn't assume that everybody, is able to read all the details of all the lists on their phones. So please do still make sure to bring copies of your lists for your opponent. And we'll see what the panel thinks of them on Tuesday night to find out who will be this year's Oracle. Whoever gets the most right on the panel will receive the Oracle medal for this year. And whoever gets the most wrong, I'm going to pass on the pink gorilla, which I think originally came from the Unplugged Radio guys that I've had here for a while, because their tradition was whoever gets the most wrong gets this and has to play with it for at least one game at the next tournament they go to. So I received this for getting the most wrong for some tournament like a year ago. I can't even remember which one it was now. And I've had it ever since. I've played with it for one game at one tournament. And since then, all of these broadcasts that I've done, I've been the one hosting it. And I don't like having clean sweeps. So I would always vote against the rest of the panel, which means I would end up getting the most wrong. So this time, to make sure that I pass this on to someone, I'm just not going to vote. It's just going to be the panelists, and I'm just going to take notes and then let people know which of them is the Oracle and which of them gets to play with the pink monkey at their next event. And then hold on to it and pass it on the next time they do a live first round pairings video. All right, so some other quick reminders and developments. I'm just going to remind everybody one more time about our COVID policy. Our policy for this year is that since the active case numbers are very low, and like the government is winding down the emergency procedures and all that they had in place for it, we're just asking that everyone please be fully vaccinated according to their healthcare providers' current recommendations. Everybody that came last year and showed a vax card, most folks were already vaccinated last year, so I don't anticipate that being a problem for anyone. If that is an issue for you, please let me know. We are not asking for people to test themselves and show us proof of that this year. Um, but please do be aware if you've had any exposures or are experiencing symptoms. Please do if you feel the need to or some suspicion or some concern about it, please make sure to test yourself before you come, just to make sure everybody doesn't get sick. Nobody wants to be that person that comes and gets a bunch of people sick out of things. So everybody just over the course of the next week, pay attention to their health status, um, and everyone will be happy and healthy the whole weekend here. Speaking of being happy and healthy, if you have any dietary restrictions, please let us know. So far, no one has said anything, so we're going to stick with our standard menu of mostly meat and bread and cheese. I think is what it kind of comes down to. So if anybody out there is a vegetarian or trying to be like gluten free or anything like that, please let us know as soon as possible. We are happy to make whatever arrangements we need to make sure everybody's taken care of. We just need to know what it is, that your requirements are there. Looking forward to the weather. The temperatures look like they're going to be fine, but they are currently calling for rain off and on all weekend. So we might have a slightly cooler, rainier weekend than we would like. But weather in Virginia in spring is really inconsistent. There have been a couple of weekends now where they said we were going to absolutely pelted by rain, and it ended up only sprinkling a little here and there, and that was it. So it's a little too early to tell whether that's actually going to be an issue or not. Even so, it's probably not going to rain hard enough or consistently enough or long enough that it should be a problem for the camping. And we do have several folks planning on camping. But if we get here and the weather is particularly bad, then I'm sure we'll make some sort of arrangements for folks who are planning on sleeping outside if that's just not possible at all. We'll find floor space for you somewhere if need be. So, kind of on that topic though, we do ask that folks remove their outdoor shoes when they come into the house. We'll have little spots by the doors for folks to drop their shoes off. Now, and I'll talk about this next week when I do the venue tour. A lot of the ground floor where people hang out and we serve meals is hardwood floors. The basement gaming area, most of it is carpeted, and the areas that are not carpeted, we have mats for people to stand on. So nobody should have any particular problems with their feet getting overly tired over the course of the weekend. But I would encourage you to do what I do and what Robin does, and that is we have shoes that we wear outside and shoes that we wear inside. So if you think you might like to have something like that, just bring like a pair of flip flops or slippers or sandals or something like that, and carry them and then put them on when you come inside the first time, and then just wear them around inside the house. If you have any issues with your feet and walking around on hardwood floors for the better part of a weekend, it's going to be an issue for you. I highly encourage you to do that. Otherwise, just help us keep the floors as clean as we can with all the foot traffic we're going to have by taking off your outdoor shoes at the entrances. Friday night, after the venue opens, which I will talk about I'll remind folks about the schedule in just a couple minutes. We are going to have some black powder, historical miniature wargaming provided by Rob Kenzie. If anybody's interested in making sure they get a spot at that, you can get in touch with him. You can post on Facebook or tag him or message him and let him know. I know he's planning on bringing his whole table set up in a couple of forces with multiple divisions. So I'm sure he can probably accommodate a good 6 people for that. Takes a few hours to play. It can be fun if you're into historical games or fairly large size games. It's a good time. So if that's something you're interested in, do that. Also, I think Matt may have posted and mentioned that he was going to bring some Magic decks. So if anybody plays Magic and is interested in playing some Magic, and I think he said maybe Commander as the format on Friday evening. Remember to toss a couple of Magic decks and whatever other swag you prefer to have to play. In your bag for the weekend. There'll be plenty of space for card games and board games and party games and all that sort of stuff. We highly encourage folks to bring their favorite card and board games. There's plenty of space to play and plenty of time to do that. And again, the venue is a private venue. It's ours for the whole weekend. People can stay up pretty much as late as they want, playing whatever they want, so long as they're not so loud that they keep the whole house up. Ed, looking at you. But even that's not that big a problem because after a whole day of playing Kings of War and doing stuff, everybody's tired enough that you'll sleep through a bit of noise. It's fine. Also, in previous years, I've done an organized beer tasting, which I completely just spaced on and forgot to do last year. And I think this year I'm going to skip that as well. But everyone is encouraged to bring whatever their favorite local beers are and just trade them with folks when you get here. I feel like people generally do that at tournaments anyway, and it's something that I love to see. We got plenty of refrigerator space for people to bring fun stuff. So yeah, just be aware of that. I'm not going to do it in an organized fashion and have everybody sit around and sip one at a time. But if you bring a 6-pack or something like that of your favorite local beer and trade or swap beers with folks who have done the same from other places, that's a fun way to pass some of the time when you're not gaming or while you're gaming. Hey, why not? Have a few beers while you're playing. If you're staying on property, it's not like you're driving anywhere for the weekend or that you have to go in search of food because we're going to feed you everything. So with that, I'll just leave you guys with a couple of last minute schedule reminders. Vanguard GT is next weekend. Hey, just in case you haven't picked up on that from the context so far. It is starting next Friday. Venue opens at 3:00 for people who are staying on site. That is people who have paid to camp or are planning on either renting a room or crashing in somebody's room here. And for everyone else, the venue opens at 6:00 on Friday evening. There will be food available for dinner for folks who are staying on site, but we're not planning on having enough food on Friday evening for everyone to have dinner here. So if you're not staying on site and you're just coming down to drop your stuff off and hang out for the evening, I would encourage you to eat before you come because there might not be enough food left over for everybody if everybody shows up trying to eat dinner. But the rest of the weekend meals are taken care of. First rounds don't really start until 10 a.m. We like giving everybody plenty of time to wake up, get some breakfast, get a shower. If you're staying off site to drive over. So we're not in a huge hurry. So showing up anytime after 9 and before 10 if you've already put your army on the correct table and everything Friday evening is fine for Saturday. I think that's about it. So yeah, once again, lists are due today. And first round pairings will be live streamed Tuesday at 8:30. And then next week, I'll be back with some more last minute updates and we'll walk around the venue. We've had people, the pool is opened, it's getting cleaned. It's a heated pool. So if it's not raining too bad and anybody wants to get in the pool, it should be nice and comfy by then. And we've had the landscapers here all week. And the place looks really nice. Hopefully it won't rain all weekend after we've got the place looking so nice, but we'll see what happens. That's kind of out of our control. So anyway, everybody take care, have fun, finish up those last minute list deliberations and send it on to me via email. And any travel plans you need to get together, last minute travel arrangements, make sure you do those, get all your last minute painting done, get your display board set up. And we will see everybody next weekend. Have a good one.